Hello, future me, digital me, avatar me, bunch of other me's. Um, well, it is hot today. It's like 91 outside, and it's still actually managing to be cooler inside. I got home like an hour ago from my walk, and I needed like that much time to cool down and like get some energy back. Whew. This might be a little bit longer of a venting of stuff and me still trying to make sure. And I'm eating chips now too. I'm eating chips, and that may not be the greatest thing to do while I'm bellowing out and trying to remember to enunciate while doing this. But now that I have rested, I need to smoke a cig because breathing needs to get harder. So yeah, but I wanted to talk about some things because when I walk home, it is hotter and hotter as I walk through Texas. And as I start to sweat, I start to get just a little bit angry and think of things. Maybe make a story because you need to divert your attention while walking through the heat. So, if I piss people off while saying stuff, then, well, that's just how it's going to have to be. But I managed to remember what I was thinking of. So, here we go. I talked about this before on the previous channel, but I'm going to try and piece this together, the story that I came up with. I want to say my personal opinion with religions nowadays is drinky. Personal opinion nowadays is whether you are a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, Hindu, a what the fuck ever. Sig is going out. I have breathed life into it. What the fuck ever you are, I think that you need to take your book and toss it in the bin. Just whip it in the dumpster, and there you go. Because it's full of crap, and you don't need it anymore. Now it is out. We need a good cherry. Good cherry going for that sumbitch. So, Jesus. About Jesus. I would like to say Jesus, in my viewpoint, I'm going to piss off conservatives, and eventually I'm going to get to probably parts that are going to piss off liberals too. So, Jesus is the OG SJW, and definitely a super hippie in my point of view. Dude went around helping out poor, giving out food to poor when needed. Talking about how the power structure and the people in power were screwing over the poor. Um, in a time when there was an oppressive empire that was doing its best to use the giant boot of that empire to squish not only people that were trying to rise up against it, but just, you know, do what basically the powerful people all over the world are nowadays and just kick any poor person being like, give me a penny. Just, use the everyday person as I don't know what it is, but I don't know, a pinball machine, a coin machine, just every kick, a penny, ooh, a dime. Ah, this time I got a quarter. There we go. That's excellent. Just a carnival machine, just random slots of like random coins every time you kick them. Yay! Poor people are fun machines that just gives us money for every kick. Good stuff. We like that, don't we? Just like today. You know, fuck them. So that's what I believe about Jesus. I mean, it's not like the guy had a horse-drawn carriage or whatever the equivalent of that was. Um, with drapes and everything and persons inside him that would fan him and dude walked and occasionally probably had like a donkey that would carry him or one of his persons, but I'm betting if whatever the possessions he had, probably very meager. The mule, donkey, camel, whatever there was, would be carrying that stuff. Um, and I would like to say that the guy probably wore the same thing every day, maybe changing. Maybe he had one change of clothes, but probably the most meager attire, in the ancient world. Unlike a good deal of Americans, not most, but a good deal of Americans from lower middle on up of the classes have, I would say, plenty of clothes to wear. I know I did when I was young, even though we were lower middle class. I mean, my dad, even then when we were growing up in the late 80s, one income earner, and my dad was a carpenter. He did not earn a lot. It was like borderline 20K then, and that was a pretty decent income. That was enough for him to get a mortgage and throughout his lifetime pay off the house. That was enough for us to have everything we needed. Every year buy a new set of clothes for us, me, my sister. Basically, my mom buys some clothes for herself and my dad buys some work clothes for himself. Along with all the food we needed, everything we needed, just a single income family. And my mom take care of us and everything. So, yeah. In the span of a generation and a half, now that was like a skilled artisan or whatever you want to call it, but still a single earner. Get a house, raise a family, all that stuff. Gone. A generation and a half-ish. And now, clothes can be cheaper, but whatever. Going back to the Jesus, that's what Jesus did, moving from town to town, village to village, spending time in cities occasionally. So yeah, that's what he do, and probably taking a lot of refuge in whatever person's house that he could. Old school Airbnb. Is that what Airbnb is? I don't know. Except either for free or maybe trading some labor, something like that. Because if it was a farm, he and probably some of his merry men could do some work on the farm in exchange for, allowing them to sleep in a barn or something like that with the manimals. Wherever it would be comfortable for the night or for a couple nights. And re-provision, get some water, that sort of thing. And, they would talk with the farm owner, get some experiences. Hey, how are things going? Like, we were just here. That was a situation over at that other place. What's it like here? What's it like at the town by you? You're like, really? It's the same over there, and it's the same at the other place, and at the other place, and at the other place. And the guy there would be like, really? We thought it was just here. We thought it was just shitty here. No, it's the same over there. It's fucking everywhere. Yep. He was the Pony Express for spreading the news that everything's fucked. The social media platform for letting everybody know everywhere they are fucking with you. And it's not that he was a traitor or anything. It's just that I don't know what he wanted to do, really. Maybe this was on his way traveling to the east to, I don't know, learn how to meditate or some shit like that. I don't know. But personally, I think that's one thing he wanted to do. He wanted to learn from the wise old sages in the east. I looked it up on not YouTube, on just the internet, and they say it kind of says on the internet that that probably wasn't a thing. There's no credible sources that can confirm that, but I looked it up. I looked up the distances and the paths and everything, and I don't think it would have been impossible for him and his people, or him alone. Well, him alone would have probably been very, very difficult, but him and a few people would have been much easier, much less implausible to make that trip there and then back within the, I think it's the 12-year gap. To make it there, study for a couple years, and then make it back. So I like to think personally that that's what he did. He went there, studied for a little while, and even if it was just in India and not somewhere in some temples, some Buddhist temples in China. I like to think that's what he did, that he gathered some knowledge there and learned to meditate in some ways. And, yada yada. And then brought that back to the Middle East. In his early 30s. When he got got back there and then was really pissed off at what was happening. Maybe the situation had managed to get even worse in that, I suppose, short time, and was even more pissed off. And then, some of those more famous stories which led up to the infamous money changer thing and him being crucified and all that stuff. And at that point, because he was probably with other people, maybe they had learned some secrets about herbs and all that garbage. And Jesus had learned some meditation and bodily control things which allowed him to slow down autonomic control and respiration and stuff. And that's why it appeared that he was dead, and allowed him to appear to resurrect himself. So there you go. That may be a trick to the resurrection. I don't know. It's just me throwing some shit out there. So yeah. Because even nowadays, people see those Buddhist monks that study for 30 years do some very weird garbage with their body. And it's a very old and almost getting to the point of a lost art. Because, well, amongst many things, China is kind of clamping down on those people. I don't know why. You would think China, with all their desire to be a world power and wanting to investigate things, would want them to continue their traditions in peace and in their own way, so that it is not lost to time and whatever. But that's just my take on everything. Anyway, I suppose, as Forrest Gump says, that's all I had to say about that. I also write not a few minutes ago, but about 20 minutes ago, because it's 1930, and I saw something called the National, well, it looked to me like kind of a Newsmax clone, a national paper or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's another media company, or George Sinclair or something like that. It's just another, uh, pardon, another media thing going on YouTube, and maybe I think when I looked at it, um, they owned uh, some. Actually, it looked like a bunch of local news stations, and of course they're billionaires. So yay! And it's just another trend of billionaires buying up media and then having a bunch of suits sit in front of the cameras to be their mouthpieces. To what end? I don't know. I didn't do enough. I didn't do, you know, in-depth research. But if they're billionaires, they're probably being. It's probably billionaire propaganda. So it probably doesn't suit my purpose. My not purpose. My interests, which is, you know, taxing billionaires, right? Um, why would they want to pay more money? They just want to have more money. I like Bill Burr's phrase, the infinity pool. That's a good way of putting it. They just want to grow their infinity pool, and it's just a competition with other billionaires. I don't know how many women are billionaires, but being a billionaire seems to be basically a dick measuring contest. Which is why I've said this before. I think, uh, whatever. I'm just going to say it. If I were president, I would like to initiate a program to just find some way to give every guy like a huge dick. I think that would solve a lot of problems. Just be like a pill or whatever that just gives every guy like a 10-inch or 12-inch dick. Be like, all right, you got big dicks now. Problem solved. Stop fucking around. No one needs to do anything anymore. Like, we know everyone has a big dick, right? You don't need to fight anymore. Now the competition will be over who can not be a dick instead of who can have a big dick. I know. An odd moonshot for the world, isn't it? Instead of going to the moon. Anyways, rich people. Yeah. The age old, the 6,000-year-old problem that humanity has not managed to solve yet. Ooh. Ooh. Walking home, I just, building up that heat, does make me kind of, each step almost is just like, it's like boiling water or water on the way to boiling. It's just like hotter and 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 hotter. Anger kind of simmering to the top. like, you know, me doing a George Carlin skit. Like you can watch George Carlin um, doing his, not his earliest routines, but his, his later um, comedy routines, where it's just like you watch him start and then go on. It's like, man, you're starting to get a little angrier as you go on through your, I guess, routine or special or whatever. It's like you're getting yourself worked up. I think you need to like smoke a joint, buddy. Cool yourself off. Of course, the routine itself would probably suffer, but whatever. Uh, yeah, and the area is supposed to, in 3, 4 days, hit either 100 or right around 100. And every day, I swear, every day that it's sunny, oh man, the apartment, oh, it's just gonna hold on to more and more heat. So, yikes. Ugh. Naked. I don't know. Nakedness is the key. Because, I don't have enough money to turn on the AC all day. And, wow. Yeah. AC burns through too much electricity. Um, I'm sure the fans, because I got 3 of them in here, 2 ceiling fans and a fan, and I'm sure those use, a not insignificant amount of electricity, but I know AC uses more. But the only time I turn the AC on is when I gotta cook something. So whatever. To have just a little bit of extra cash. I do think, though, I have found a way. I may have said this in a different video. I think I found a way to pay for the articles of incorporation, which is nice. I'll look into that in the next. I was going to do it today, but I don't know if I'll have time. It doesn't matter, because I won't be able to actually really get anything done until the month ticks over. It's the 21st right now, so, but whatever. I think I may have a way to do that, which is nice. Whew. I don't know. This Epstein thing, it just keeps going on. I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I mean, other than how everybody else obviously feels about, you know, child abuse and whatever. I mean, yeah. What I don't like about it is that really it, okay, there's 2 things. One, I like it if it helps disturb um, the whole MAGA situation, and I don't know. what destabilizes the base or blows up the mountain, and whatever metaphor you want to use for it. But I don't like that, it's the Epstein thing, the 10-year-long garbage that's been taking focus away from rich people. You know, tax rich people, tax rich people, tax rich people. You know, I say dig for gold where gold exists. Not, let's go mining air. Oh, gold must be right up there. Well, darn, we didn't find any gold right up in the air. It's not fucking there. You want to find money? I got an idea. Tax poor people. Yeah, because they obviously have money to give. Tax middle class. I got another idea. How about we give tax cuts to everybody that Jesus, I mean, we've been doing that for 40 years, and let's cut some more programs that everybody who uses them already needs. Well, let's cut them some more. That's great. Maybe, I don't know, we'll open up some nationally protected wildlife refuge to industrial efforts, and we can cut down some more forests that were protected too. Yeah, that's good. I like that idea. Let's take the parts of Earth that are completely protected and fuck those up some more. Yay. How about the bottom of the ocean? There's a lot of rare earths down there. Why don't we just let every company that is privately owned get even more rich off those and totally fuck that up for nature? It's only the one place that is almost totally pristine, almost, because there's stuff down there. It's like plastics, microplastics and stuff. But by and large, it's essentially pristine. And why don't we go down there? It's not like we don't have just droves of evidence that everywhere we've done any kind of industrial effort or anything, there's been complete pollution and fuck-uppery. But no, fucking go down there, because we need rare earth elements. How about, here's a novel idea, instead of making shit with rare earths, why don't we just find out how to, not do that with rare earths? I mean, nature does it. There's obviously a way to do it. So why don't we just do that? Why don't we just make electricity with, not rare earths? We want to really make America great again. Why don't we just do it in a way that doesn't need shit from, I don't know, China or something? If we're so at war with China because they're the enemy, why don't we be the first to have the technology that doesn't require fucking anything abnormal? Just the regular old shit. Earth, wood, fucking fresh and or seawater. Just regular old garbage. Maybe, I don't know, iron or something. Just the most abundant crap on Earth. used to make electricity. I don't know. That sounds like a good idea, but let's just not do that because corporations are money hungry, and the easiest way to make money is, I don't know, the easiest way to make money because we like to be easy. That's the new America. And they blame us for being lazy. Stop being lazy. Being in your parents' basement playing video games and eating junk food. Really? That's what you're going to tell us? That is what you're going to tell us. Oh. And then second, any other company has any kind of anything, you're like, I'll offer you $3 billion. Oh, it didn't work out. Oh no. Government, can I have $2.99 billion to cover my losses? Sure. What? Where was that $2.99 billion for, I don't know, food for people that need food? Oh, we didn't have it because it was too expensive. We couldn't pay for food. We couldn't pay for housing. We couldn't pay for any fucking number of fucking anything. But as soon as Mr. Big Shot, I have rich money, needs it, oh, magically appears, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. It just appears. Poof. That in the world of D&D is what we call conjuration. It's a school of conjuration. Bang! It just appears. Jesus did that too, by the way. Well, his was transmutation, water to wine. But they're both forms of magic. So, I didn't realize we could perform magic in government and corporate circles. Can I do that? Can I conjure up, I don't know, billions of dollars? That would be helpful. It would be helpful if I could conjure up $1 million. That would be nice. Printing money for me. But I may not be able to conjure up $1 million. But if I have a good enough credit rating and maybe own a house, I can loan $1 million with a high enough interest rate that one day they can take my house. Yay! America, fuck yeah. And somehow, one political party manages to snag up consistently half or nearly half of federal national voting and of the rest of the good amount of states, almost all of the county's jurisdiction, whatever, just all the fucking time. It's fucking magic. So yeah. Why don't we cancel the Department of Education? That's another magic trick. And I'm in Texas now. And In another video, I talked about James Tellerico. He was talking about I needed a swig of sugar water. He was talking about, amongst other things, the Ten Commandments bill, which passed for Ten Commandments in public schools, which passed and is being challenged, but that's, I mean, let's face it. Unless the Supreme Court decides, let's not vote in favor of, I mean, what are there? Are there 5 or 6 that are basically conservative? I mean, how the fuck does this happen? The Supreme Court is supposed to be a court of people that look at constitutional law and Constitution and amendments to the Constitution and all of that shit, and you're supposed to say, does this case fit established law, the Constitution, and legal precedent? Yes or no? There we go. Not, does Jesus want this? Maybe. Does the clergy want this? Does a person who is a total douche but claims to have God on their side want this? I think I'll vote that way. Fucking A. What? The country has devolved into some sort of goddamn clown show. I mean, it's I don't know. Do you call it a country anymore at that point? Or just a collection of douchebag assholes that happen to be in a position of authority without actual, I don't know. There's douches, and I watch a show, a YouTube program, a YouTube channel called Just Have a Think, and I saw after a video I saw post from a guy in rural, I don't know where he was. He said he was from rural America, and he was just like, he lived 26 miles away from the nearest town. He was like, after I brush off my solar panels, we had a heavy storm, I brushed off the solar panels, and I had power, and none of my neighbors did. And it's like, yeah, exactly. His neighbor's generators ran out of diesel installed, and they didn't have power for 6 days or something like that. So there you go. I mean, yeah, the solar panels, when they're blocked, they don't generate power, but brush the snow off them. They generate power. They put power into the battery, and that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. It's the electricity companies and all this system of asset owners and billionaires and all this shit are entrenched, and they pump out this noise to you that know, it's just hard. It's just hard to fend off, and it's been ringing in your ears since birth, and you just really gotta. I mean, you just gotta be fighting hard to get it out, and a lot of people are just either they just don't want to hear it, they don't want to participate in that fight, or you know, I mean, now they got your ass working. They got one person working 10, 12 hours a day, or one person in the family working 8 hours a day, come home, taking care of the kids, while the other person switches, working 8 hours a day. And it's just like, neither of you have any time to think about, you know, to mentally combat, oh, yeah, this is how they're fucking me. They know they're being fucked. You just don't have any time to figure out the mechanism of being fucked up. Sorry, I talked too fast there. So they know they're being fucked. They just don't know exactly how. And then Trump comes along. I'll make America great again. Fuck the Mexicans. They're the one that's fucking you. What? Someone's fucking me. This guy's telling me I'm being fucked? He looks good enough. He's wearing the costume of, you know, if you don't have more than a couple minutes to, yeah, I mean, you know, you don't have the time to dig in because you're busy all day, and it's just like, one, the guy's a billionaire. No. That's all you need to know. The guy's an asshole. But, all right, possibly he might be able to do something right. All right. Two, dude's wearing a suit. All right, that's another red flag. The guy is fucking wearing a fucking suit. All right. You gotta really watch out. And seriously, grab him by the pussy? How did... I mean, I'm okay with vulgar language, but a dude was talking about grabbing women by the pussy. How did that... Oh, it's locker room talk. Grab him by the pussy! Dude, what the hell? I mean, yeah, it can be kind of funny and stuff, but like, really? I mean, come on. I just grab him by the pussy. Really? I mean, dude. And that on top of all the other shit that he said. Just like, oh my God. Damn. I'm not saying Hillary was a good choice, because I've said this before, probably not on this channel, but there was something about her. I think that my thing about Hillary was she seemed like a, how do I put this? Not a jaded wife, but she seemed like she was like, just like, I can't even think about it. One thing was she seemed like she was owed. She was like she was like that mailman, like, you know, I put in my time, I deserve my pension. But the version of I put in my time, I'm owed the presidency. I'm a woman, blah blah blah, and it's like, no, you don't get to just have the presidency, you know, because like you were there in public office for a certain amount of time, and you're a woman and all that shit. That's what she seemed like to me. But also, she seemed like she was very like bitter and resentful of the whole Bill Clinton sucking it, getting his dick sucked thing. I don't want a woman with that kind of like pent up resentment. I don't want a man with that kind of pent up resentment. I also on further reflection, I think Trump might have that kind of pent up resentment because of that. There was that dinner where I don't know for sure, but I think people were roasting Trump at. It was like a White House. It was something, and I think Obama said something about Trump not being able to some offhand remark or something about Trump not being able to be president after him or some shit like that. Um, and then other people followed in on that after him. And I think whether they were serious about that and making serious jabs or not, I think maybe he took that and just a little too seriously, like just a little too hard. And so I think he's got, kind of butthurt feelings about that. It kind of seems like that to me. It's just like, really? You got to, what would have been, I don't know, that was 2016. It was like 9 years ago, and he's like just turning 80, 79. So it's like, you got to like 69, 70, and you're still taking shit like that hard. It's like, really? Oh, my friends hate me. Yeah. I, you thought, really? First of all, you thought those people were your friends? They're, really? Like, maybe Epstein was your friend. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but if he was, that was probably your only friend. You don't get many friends in your life, and they're probably the ones that you have when you're like between 6 and I want to say 18. After that, you're probably SOL. If you're lucky, you get some in college that are really good, and after that, you don't really have any other friends in life. You have colleagues. You don't really get any other friends. If you think you do, you're you know you're tricking yourself into something, or you're amazingly lucky. This is, of course, not counting a significant other. The person you marry, hopefully. That's like the one exception. Maybe that's me making a very, people will be like, wow, this guy's dark, and I feel bad for him. No, sorry. I think you're wrong about that. Anyways, 50 minutes. I told you this was probably going to be long. It managed to not get really hot in here yet. The thing on my taskbar says 91 degrees. That's thankfully has to be the outside temperature. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff going on in the world, with the whole bombing Iran and Syria. I mean, it's just, Oh yeah, and that tiny little war that's going on between Russia and Ukraine. Jeez. I don't know when all this is going to stop, but wow. I said before, I don't know if a lot of the stuff I said a lot of stuff on the previous channel, so I don't know when I'm going to, what is overlap and what is just here. But if anyone's seeing this channel for the first time, Trump's going to take your guns. That's a prediction. I don't know if it's going to come true, but watch out. Um, Maybe he'll only take the guns of people in blue states. Yeah. What are you going to say then? People in the Bible Belt. I'm glad he's taking the guns of people in blue states. They are terrorists. Really? So people in half of America don't deserve the Second Amendment? Really? So are you going to really do some shit like that? Like half of America doesn't deserve one civil liberty, one amendment of the Constitution. Uh, I mean, I just got to put that out there. And I'm talking about actual citizens, not even just naturalized citizens, born in America citizens that had parents, grandparents, great grandparents born in America, and are NRA members. I'm just going to say, well, you need to surrender your firearms. Voting Republicans, member Republican Party. That just happened to be in a predominantly and historically blue state. Now you need to surrender your personal firearms, because we are going to consider all of you potential terrorists. What are you going to say to that? And there was a story I just saw also. Let me just get on this too. A mayor of something, I don't know where, was saying they don't want, or they're banning ICE agents from having masks. Yeah, exactly. The FBI doesn't wear masks. Police officers don't have masks. They're like, well, you don't have jurisdiction over federal officers. No other any cop wears masks other than SWAT, which they have the helmets and stuff when they're doing breach, bang, clear. And that's because they have a justification for it when they're doing that, which at least seems reasonable. And they're not just like going out into the street like to randomly do something. They have a thing that they're actually doing, and also they have a warrant that they're showing when they go in and do that. Do ICE officers have a warrant? Do any of them have a badge? SWAT officers, if there's someone else there, if there are bystanders there, the bystanders can go, "Who are you? Let me see your badge." One of them, at least like the lieutenant or something, will answer the question. Yes, I'm Lieutenant so and so. Here's my badge and my badge number. Blah blah blah. They are answerable, and they do answer. ICE, no. This is why we call them Gestapo. They are men in black like motherfuckers. If they had the flashy device, they would use them. So, what other what other kind of proof do you need? And, like I posted on another thing, nothing meaningful is ever going to happen until they do something fucked up. Probably shoot a young, pretty, white Southern girl. Probably shoot her in the face, because she's, they try to take her Mexican boyfriend. No, no, don't take him. And they trying to pull him away, and she's holding on. Don't take him. He's my boyfriend. I love my, what do they call him? I love my beau. I love my beau. And she's just holding on. And they bash her in the face, and she's still holding on, and then they tase her, and she's still holding on, because when you tase someone, you hold even more. And then one of the young ones just shoots her, but he fucks up, and he thinks there's a non-lethal in there, but he shoots her with a lethal, and then it's in her chest, and and then she dies. And there's people that are filming it, so they can't brush that out under the rug anymore. Now she's dead. In Alabama or Georgia. They can't cover that up anymore. No. Now some shit's gonna fucking happen. Because she's also beautiful. She was a pageant winner. She was gonna go to U of A. She was gonna be a nurse. No. What about all the other motherfuckers that are in alligator fucking Alcatraz? Oh, you didn't give a shit about them. It took a white girl being murdered. That's what it took. Yeah. One fucking white girl. And all of a sudden, everybody cares. Yeah. See? Yeah. One white girl. And all of a sudden, now it's a problem. There you go. Yeah. See? Same thing with the opioid thing. Nobody gives a shit about crack in the ghetto. Now, all of a sudden, rich white boys getting addicted to pills. Now, it's a mental health problem. That you care about. Because rich, white, preppy motherfuckers going to Harvard or Stanford or wherever the fuck on their way, or going in there, now it's a problem. Because billionaires' kids are on it. Now it's something that's a national emergency, right? When it's the black crackheads, it's just a personal choice, and fuck them, brush them under the rug, maybe even put your knee on the back and shoot them, and be like, man, he was just resisting. No. So that's what it is. It affects the poor people. Fuck them. We don't care. Maybe even make some money off of it. Actually, almost definitely make some money off of it, because that's what they're doing right fucking now. But when it happens to you, I'm talking about you, rich assholes, then it's something that maybe you need to take a look at. So And that is the tale of the world going back 6,000 years. So yeah. That's why I say fuck rich people and tax them. I say tax the ass out of them and move that bill forward and up. And yeah, anyone that has, how are we gonna pay for these programs that I talk about, that everybody wants? There you go. Tax, 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 tax. Oh, they'll move there this, they'll move there that. I'm good. I don't care. Fuck them. They don't do anything. I always say they don't do anything. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. They do nothing. All the people in their companies that do stuff, they are not the billionaires. So get rid of the people that do dick, and we will, all the people and engineers that insert name of company here, we will take care of you. The poors in the country will take care of your ass. Trust me. We will. We respect you. The business people that get a $20 million bonus or more, and the boards of the company that own all the shares and stuff and get dividends, go ahead and leave. I don't give a shit about you. But all the people that do the work and do the research and yada yada, you can stay. We'll take care of you. And I respect scientists at universities that get paid relatively dick. Sure, they get paid maybe $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. That's fine. I don't care. I know to a lot of people that sounds like a shitload of money, but you gotta think of it on the relative scale. That's fine. Because, you guys do the research, and then somebody somewhere else at a corporation, takes the research, makes a product, and it's like, ooh, we did something great for the world. Here's my $20 billion company. It's like, oh, maybe the university itself gets a chunk, but the dude that did the research, the 10 guys that did the research, they're sitting on their little salary doing the next whatever 5 different projects down the line. They got nothing. So then you have the conservative talking heads. Why are we funding this thing here that does nothing for the world? It doesn't generate any money. Yeah, I don't fucking care. You need to stop thinking about the money it generates. I want to see the money. I don't care about your fucking money. Too many people care about how much money anything generates. Go fuck your money. I want to know if I will get robot legs out of it. I don't want robot legs. That was that was a guy from Grandma's something. I forget. It's a movie, whatever. I'm thinking about getting robot legs. Grandma's World or Grandma's... I can't think of the name of the movie. Oh, jeez. It's an hour and 10 minutes. I don't know who Jeez, an hour and 10 minutes. That is. I'm getting hot now, so I'm stopping. But I hope no one watched this. This was just me blaring into this thing for that long. It's long form, me interviewing me on Me TV. Oh boy. Yeah, now I'm hot. I don't know how that managed to transition from not super hot to damn, but it was like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So, all right, I'm done here, peeps. I need fan time with my fan. Am I naked or not naked when I'm doing that? I don't know. I will leave that to your imagination. Boobs, people, boobs.